Fox 5's Tiana Bonner talked to people who felt it, but first, let's head over to meteorologist Sam Argier. He's tracking the quake.
Yeah, Christine, Jacqueline, 4 aftershocks after the initial quake tonight, and it occurred just after 7 p.m., 7:03 p.m., 14 miles northeast of Barstow, California, magnitude 4.6, which is in the minor to moderate category when it comes to earthquakes. Now, as far as a crow flies, it's 120 miles away from the Las Vegas Valley, but yes, people did feel it here in Las Vegas. Looking at the latest data coming into our computer, nothing in the last hour in terms of earthquakes, but as I mentioned, 4 aftershocks between about 7 p.m. and 7:30, ranging in magnitude between 2.0 and 2.9. Now, what's interesting is more aftershocks are certainly possible into tonight and over the coming days, and 5% of these earthquakes actually become foreshocks, meaning that they're precursors to an even larger earthquake, and that happened just a few months ago, back in July. You may remember Ridgecrest. On the 4th of July, we had a magnitude 6.4 near Ridgecrest, and that was a precursor to a 7.1 the next day. So again, generally 5% of these earthquakes are foreshocks, meaning a stronger one is possible. So those around Barstow certainly need to be on alert with aftershocks and possibly even stronger quakes over the next 48 hours and over the coming days. But as I mentioned, some people did feel it here in Las Vegas. Fox 5 reporter Tiana Bonner was out tonight, and she talked to some of those that felt that shaking here in the valley. Tiana?
Yeah, Sam, we got reports from people across the valley tonight saying they felt the ground shaking from Henderson all the way up to Aliante. Now, like Sam said, this one was much milder than the couple that rattled our valley back in the summer. This time, many people told us they had to second guess themselves if the ground was shaking or not. One viewer, Philip, called us. He's a rideshare driver, and he was on the top floor of the parking lot at the Gold Coast Casino. That's near Flamingo and Valley View. Philip said the aftershock lasted around 5 seconds, and at first he thought maybe it was just the wind that was pushing his car.
Kind of like rocking back and forth, like if you were trying to rock a baby to sleep. So I immediately got out of the car and tried to see if there was any more shaking. And about a couple of minutes later, that's when I received the notification on my Fox 5 app that there was a 4.6 earthquake.
And some people at the National Weather Service office right here in the valley also felt those aftershocks. Todd Larico said his coworker who was right next to him didn't notice, but he did. After that, Todd got on social media and he says it looks like most of the people who felt it were along the I-15 and the resort corridor.
I was talking to my colleague, and I actually thought that I had just sat back in my chair and it rocked, but it kept happening, for like about another second or two. And so I'm like, that was kind of strange. It felt different. And so then it registered it might have been an earthquake. This has been quite a few now that we felt over the course of 6 months, 8 months or so. So, clearly there's some activity going on along those faults in California. So it's kind of interesting to kind of see, what's next, right?
Las Vegas Fire and Rescue also tweeted this out shortly after, saying there were no emergency calls into their headquarters due to tonight's earthquake, but dispatchers at the command center did indeed feel it themselves. And as a reminder, if you feel the ground shaking, they say move under something sturdy. Tiana Bonner, Fox 5 News, local Las Vegas.